Hi, I'm Linda Deutsch of Associated Press, and I have spent a career of 41 years with the Associated Press covering the courts, covering high-profile trials. And I resent the statement that the media has not been doing a good job of covering the courts. I don't know where you get that from. We have had, the organization I work for, the Associated Press, covers courts in every state of the union and in many, many of the cities. We have reporters here today from our Las Vegas bureau, from our Reno bureau, who do nothing but cover the courts. I think that is wrong. And I also think that the idea that somehow we are going to be replaced by this roving contingent of bloggers is unbelievable to me. First of all, who's going to represent them when they get in trouble?
So let me, before you go any further, and I'd be happy to entertain any additional attack on my position you want. I am a trained journalist too. I have been through all of this myself. As much as I don't like the fact that a lot of uncredible, poor writers make more money than me writing about technology today, has no bearing on the fact that that's reality. And I'm not saying that all media have consistently done a bad job of covering the courts. However, major trials are not the only thing going on in the courts. And we have a tendency, if you look over the last 10 years, to cover things like O.J. repeatedly. O.J. is a joke.
Oh, come on.
I
Can I just respond to that before we go any further? O.J. Simpson was the most famous American ever tried for murder in the United States, ever. That would be a story whether there was technology or there was no technology. He was an American hero who was on trial for murder. That's not a joke.
Okay. But he also got 24/7 coverage of a burglary trial. Okay? So we can argue about this, and you can take this the wrong way. I am simply trying to encourage people to do a better job of covering the courts, including using any means necessary to encourage citizens to get more intelligently involved in covering the courts. But as a journalist, I share your horror, and at the same time, I know it's real.
Well, I think that we welcome the access that we have gained through the internet and through all of the computer wonders that have occurred. I mean, during this last O.J. trial, Michael Sommermeyer was able to put things online instantly. Meanwhile, the court was refusing to give us access to jury questionnaires. That's a very simple and on-paper thing. There are a lot of fights that have to be fought, and they are fought, a lot of them, with lawyers. And I want to know what lawyers are going to come with the bloggers and be paid by the bloggers to come to court and represent them. What's going to happen when a blogger goes to jail? Are they going to be covered by the SHIELD law?
Actually,
We don't know that.
Several bloggers have gone to jail already. And the ACLU and the Electronic Freedom Foundation and others have stepped up and provided lawyers for those people when that happened. There are also media guilds forming on the internet that are essentially collecting funds to prepare for those kinds of circumstances. But I agree, you know, there's hardly a blogger out there who understands how to file a Freedom of Information Act, nor do they have the $7,000 to $10,000 it would cost them at minimum to do it. That doesn't mean that it's impossible for that financial mechanism to appear somehow. And those experiments are taking place. There are, again, I would urge anybody to read Jay Rosen's blog. It's at journalism.nyu.edu, and it's called PressThink. These people, there's just so much going on that, you know, to come up and say that you resent what I'm saying and that therefore dismisses it would be intellectually dishonest and incurious.
I'm not dismissing it. What I'm saying is that you used a word just now which is probably the most relevant, which is experiment. It is an experiment. It is not tried and true. It has not been tested. And to shove out the old to let in this experiment doesn't make much sense to me.
I don't think that we're,
I don't believe I'm shoving out the old. What I would say is, and as I said earlier, I don't know the answers. All I know is that you have to, be trying a lot of different things.
I think that adding to that point, Linda, Laura's coming right behind you. I think to add to that point, I mean, what you and Ken, yeah, the AP. But on balance, if you look at the way most networks cover trials, it's not with the kind of depth that you bring to your pieces. And if you look at the extended media that covers the trials, I mean, this will take the 5-day-a-week strip shows, the Entertainment Tonights or the Access and what have you, they tend to do a pretty, I'm going to call it superficial job, not really a whole lot of the nuance, more about the glitter. So I think that's what we're saying, that a lot of media has not done a very good job, but I'll make it one step worse. When I sit with news managers and we talk about trials, for the most part, the news managers say, our audience doesn't care. And that I find even more frightening. I kind of want to slap them up the side of the head. That's involved too.
Well, that's because you don't make them care. They're not getting enough information to care.
Well, they're hearing this.
Reminded,
I'm just playing devil's out. They're hearing from consultants who say the only thing that TV audiences care about today are traffic and weather, which